Now, on this Youth Day, the focus inevitably turns to education, its importance in rebuilding our economy and how the pandemic has impacted the tertiary sector. Today, the Regenesys Foundation is pledging R100 million towards a lockdown education initiative to reduce Regenesys Business School's tuition fees by up to 60% for 500 new students who are affected by pay cuts and retrenchment. For more on this, the head of the foundation, Indrani Reddy, joins us. Ms. Reddy, good afternoon to you and welcome. There's absolutely no doubt that the education paradigm in South Africa has shifted, and you make the point that as far as higher education is concerned, online digital learning has become more important than ever.
So, Jeremy, I think what the pandemic has done for us is really changed our focus on how we perceived contact learning versus online learning. And online learning prior to the pandemic was really a choice of the student. This pandemic during the lockdown made us as a business school and many institutes, private and public out there, including our schools, to transition online to be able to make education accessible. So we're rather fortunate at Regenesys that we were planning for this either way to launch a digital Regenesys through programs in technology as well. So what the lockdown really did was accelerate the process of us being able to take all our platforms online and to alleviate the suffering that the community is bearing right now through job losses. We've seen huge giants close down because they cannot maintain their businesses financially. And so our give back to the community through the foundation was this pledge to enable the business school to reduce its fees by 60%. Now, this allows for courses from higher certificate, diploma, bachelor's degrees in business, as well as an MBA program, Jeremy. So again, this is not just restricted to youth, but they could be middle management and senior management that have lost jobs and are feeling despondent as to how to get back into the world in 2021. So in this time where we have time given to us, instead of wallowing in the sorrow that we feel financially, socially, and economically as a nation, here's an opportunity by Regenesys to take up this initiative and really equip ourselves for when the doors of our economy opens again. And we're hoping that that is sooner rather than later. But the preparation for this is of vital importance. Today we commemorate, sorry, Jeremy, please go ahead.
No, finish your thought. Finish your thought.
So, you know, it's opportune to meet with you today, and we're so grateful for this being June 16. You know, we commemorate a day that forever changed the socio-political landscape of South Africa. It not only raised the political consciousness, but the moral consciousness of our people, especially the youth. And we commemorate this day year after year, 44 years later. You know, have we really bridged the disparity between the haves and the have-nots in our nation? And I feel, sadly, we haven't. So here's an opportunity with Regenesys to be able to partner. We also looked at further beyond this. You know, this is a time where the government opened up the Solidarity Fund. And as a nation, we always look to government to do something. So as a business institute, we felt this is what we could do. And we were challenging partners in education as well as telecommunications right now, because that is another barrier to be able to make online education more accessible to the have-nots in our community. And even saying the have-nots aches me. You know, it's already identifying this huge disparity that we have failed as a nation to bridge 44 years later and 26 years into democracy.
Right.
You know, what will it take for us to get students educated? What would it take for us to change the economic landscape of South Africa forever and a day? And it really starts with equipping our children with education. There's two projects that we have through the foundation.
All right, Indrani Reddy, regrettably, I am going to leave it there. Time is against us, but important to mention that this R100 million pledge has been made by the 200,000 strong community of alumni, students and staff, you say, from around 200 countries. Thank you very much for joining us. Indrani Reddy, head of the Regenesys Foundation.